Good morning, grade 4. Today we will review our chapter 6, starting from lesson 1. Let's start review the definitions.
Streak. Color of the powder that a mineral leaves when it is scratched across a special plate.
Who can read this? Mineral. Mineral.
Mineral.
What is the meaning of mineral? Natural, non-living, solid crystals that make up rocks. Listen.
Natural, non-living solid crystals that make up rocks.
Cleavage. Cleavage. Listen.
Cleavage.
What is the meaning of a cleavage? Property of minerals to break along a smooth, flat surface. Now, who can read this word? Luster.
Luster.
What is the meaning of luster? The way the surface of a mineral reflects light. Luster. Now, who can read this word? Okay, excellent.
Igneous rock.
Igneous rock. What is the meaning of igneous rock? Listen.
Rocks that form from molten rocks.
Excellent. Rocks that form from molten rocks. Okay. Who can tell me how easily the surface of mineral can be scratched? What is it, this word? Yes, hardness. Excellent.
Hardness.
Hardness. Who can tell me process of rocks in earth crust slowly being broken into smaller pieces? What is it, the word?
Process of rocks in Earth's crust slowly being broken into smaller pieces.
What is it? Weathering. Weathering.
Weathering.
Okay.
Rocks that form when layers of sediment settle on top of one another and harden.
So what is it? Sedimentary rock. Again, rocks that form when layers of sediment settle on top of one another and harden. Now, process of carrying away withered bits of rock. Who can tell me what is it? Erosion. Excellent. Erosion. Listen.
Erosion.
Erosion. Rocks that have changes as a result of heat and pressure. What is it? Metamorphic rock. Metamorphic
rock.
Yes. Okay. Now, a break or a crack into rocks where earth crust can move suddenly. Is it volcano or earthquake? Who can tell me? Okay. Fault. It's a fault. Happened from earthquake. Natural land feature on Earth's surface. What is it? Landform.
Landform.
Landform. What are the ways to test a mineral? What are the ways to test a mineral? Luster, streak, cleavage, and hardness. All of you listen.
Luster, streak, cleavage, and hardness.
Excellent. Luster, streak, cleavage, and hardness. What are the three types of rocks? All of you listen.
Igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic.
Igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic. Igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic. How are the three types of rock formed? Listen.
M. Heat and pressure. S. Layers of sediment settle on top of one another and hardens. I. Forms from molten rock and heat.
Example of fast changes. Examples of
fast changes. Wildfire, hurricane, flooding, volcano, landslide, earthquake, tsunami hitting a beach.
So wildfire, hurricane, flooding, volcano, landslide, earthquake, tsunami hitting beach. Okay. Examples of slow change.
Examples of slow changes. A glacier moving down a mountain, water hitting the side of a sea stack, a canyon being formed by a river.
Okay. Now let's solve our revision. Chapter review. All of you open your books and let's answer our questions in chapter review. Okay. Who can read for us? Lesson 1, chapter 6. How are minerals classified? The table shows 5 minerals and their MOHS rating. MOHS rating, I will remind you. Do you remember when we studied the MOHS rating for the minerals order from softest to hardest mineral? From softest to hardest mineral according to this number. Iodite, cinnabar, emerald, magnetite, sapphire. Now, the first one, if you see its softest, MOHS rating 2.5. Then, from softest, they told us, because to order it. Then, 5.5, iodite. Then, emerald. Then, magnetite. The hardest one is sapphire. Now, all of you write it. Excellent, cinnabar. The hardest one, iodite, magnetite, emerald, and sapphire. Now, what causes the sedimentary rock to turn into metamorphic? Heat and pressure. What type of rock is formed from molten rock? Now we revise it. Igneous rock. Now lesson 3. What are weathering and erosion? Draw conclusion, read the paragraph fill in a graphic organizer. Several processes work to shape Earth's surface. The process of weathering wears away rocks and particles. However, during another process, erosion, the weathering material is moved away. Various forces move the weathered material, yet some of the same forces may work together to drop the rocks and particles in a new location. This process is called deposition. Now we have to write it into the first part. Erosion moves weathered material away. Erosion moves the weathered material away. Now, deposition. Deposition, drop materials in a new location. Drop rocks and particles in a new location. Conclusion: materials dropped by deposition may later be carried away by erosion. Now, let's revise lesson 4. How can Earth's surface change rapidly? A flood can uproot trees, move rocks, and change when a river flows. Flood can also leave land covered in sand and mud. So the flood can also leave land covered with sand and mud. Now, lesson 5. Where is earth water? Now, right about. Explain where fresh water and salt water exist on Earth's surface. I think that what I told you, the salty water we found it in ocean and seas. Let me see. Now, fresh water exists in lake, rivers, pond, glacier, and ice caps. Salt water exists in the ocean and a few lakes and also in the seas. Now lesson 6. What is the water cycle? Draw and label a diagram that shows the steps of the water cycle. What is the steps of the water cycle? The first one, evaporation. Number 2, condensation. Evaporation, condensation. Then precipitation. Number 4, storage. Then the water cycle will start again. Now, the question of this chapter, how do earth resources change? Think of rocky cliff on a beach. What natural forces have shaped this landform? What forces continue to change it? Weathering and erosion, changing the shape of the cliff, and the rock cycle slowly changing the makeup of the cliff's rocks. Thank you, my dear student, for listening. Tomorrow we'll take another new lesson. Thank you.